You might be thinking, what is Suruchi doing wearing sunglasses indoor? It's because I tried to film this video like 20 different times. And I feel like when I get into my thoughting mode, right? When I'm like speaking and I'm deeply feeling and speaking at the same time, I can't multitask. I close my eyes. I'm like going into my own zone of like just wow, exploration. And you know what? And then I look at my eyes and then I'm like, wait, I lost my train of thought. So we're going to have glasses on for this part of the conversation today. So if you're new here, I'm Suruchi and I love exploring many different things, mainly vlogs right now, but I definitely want to get more into exploring so many of my interests. I feel like I'm a multifaceted human being and my interests like definitely change year after year. And right now I'm at this fascinating point between God, sensual, awakened womanhood, and then meeting this creative erotic life as it is, and also experimenting and exploration with time. Okay, let's actually talk about time today, and I'm going to talk about all these other things in the later video. So I've really been thinking these days, how would I move if I had unlimited time? I feel like everyone knows that time is such a scarce resource, but how would I move if I knew in my heart, in my body, in my soma, in my soul, that I have unlimited time? I feel like you don't have time, or oh, timeline is passing, or like oh, time is passing by, or like time is passing by way fast. It's such a narrative that is sold to us, especially in social media. Oh, you gotta get this right. You gotta actually like maximize and like optimize your time, or else like somebody else is gonna do this, blah 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 blah. And I really wanted to get out of that rut and find for myself like this compass within me and my internal clock. And what I realized is that time is the pace of your body, right? If you go slow, time moves super slow. If you're rushing, time moves faster than you think. And time is the ultimate like matrix of fulfillment in this life. And what I say that is that how you live your everyday passing moment, how you live, breathe, dance in this moment right here before it passes by, how you feel alive in this moment is quite literally the only thing that matters, right? At the end of our life, when we look back in retrospect, I don't think money and like things quite do it for our heart as much as time spent well does. Because I feel like I've watched multiple videos about like people, 5 things people regret, or like 5 things people enjoyed the most. And number one thing is always time, spending time. Whether it's spending time doing your hobbies, or spending time with your family, spending time pouring into yourself and loving yourself, like whatever it is, time comes into factor. And to me, this exploration started, I think, a couple years back when I read this quote by Ernest Moro. He is a Facebook author who writes amazingly. He writes so much about aliveness and feeling like just this like zest for life, and just giving yourself this like permission slip to be who you be in the grandest way possible. And in his one of his posts, the last line was, at your in your deathbed, you will be begging for one more day of this gut-wrenching, heartbreaking human experience. And it really made me think like, wow, time is freaking valuable, right? And I feel like all of us know that, right? Time is the most valuable resource. That is why there's a war on time. We've made to believe that time is somewhere out there, right? There's a timeline out there that I must perform to, that I must like adhere to. I think that is a word, right? But what I realized is, and what my findings and my research and my own understanding, and what I think I'm gonna make my own definition of time, is time as the pace of the body, right? So a lot of times, like ever since we were born, actually it starts prior to us even being born, right? We are told that exactly at 9 months, you must get out of your mom's womb because it is enough. There's a timeline. You are like, it's almost like the internal intuition clock is overridden so many times that we don't even have a clock yet, right? And this video is here to tell you that you do have an internal compass. You do have a clock, which when you tune into, you get to live the most erotic life. And by erotic, I mean it's going to be birds and butterflies and fairies. No, what I mean is alive. And alive is like full spectrum, right? Alive is feeling like the depths of pleasure of being alive, but also this sinking grief that you feel sometimes, right? Feeling this like vast yearning for life, feeling this like vast yearning for God, and also simultaneously in another breath, like just feeling content, right? I feel like we get to experience aliveness in so many different ways. Let's get back though in talking about time. So, like I said, time is the pace of the body, and body thrives off of feeling alive, right? So ever since we are born, we're told that there is a timeline for you to catch out there, right? There's a time for us to like jump and run into. And we see that when we go to schools and they're like, oh, like all these other kids started to study write already, where like you haven't started yet. You need to write, you need to learn by this age, you need to talk by this age, you need to learn these things. And when we become adults, it's like this another timeline of like, you need to have a proper career by like this age, you need to be married by this age, you need to have kids by this age. So there's always like this timeline chasing that happens, because ever since we are kids, we are taught to override our internal clock, right? We are shown as time as this somewhere outside. Time is somewhere outside of us, is how we're introduced to time, right? And unless we go on our own quest and sort of define time for ourselves, we operate in the idea of time that is made only to make money. The idea of time in the outside world is a very capitalistic view that is built for money making, right? It's built to think that all of us are machines that must do everything at a certain time, right? We must like get married, have babies, whatever you please, like graduate. Everything has a timeline. And I'm not saying fuck structure, like, no, that is not what I'm getting at all. Structure is very, very beautiful. Structure is what leads to truest form of freedom, in my opinion. But what I'm saying is that definitely over time, we have learned how to override our own internal clock, our internal instinct, our just this like our North Pole, whatever you want to call it. And so how do we get back? How do we get back? Lately, I've really been experimenting, and I'm no expert by any means. I just started this exploration like maybe a couple months back, and I've really been paying attention to times where I feel like, oh, I need to do this, or I must. Anytime you catch yourself saying those phrases, check in with yourself. Like, is this the most authentic version of you speaking that is like free from like this model that is only capitalizing off of us making money? Or is there a truest instinct, desire, longing that wants to be met first, right? I don't know if all of this made sense, but in what I'm trying to get at, it really helps is to think of time as neutral. When you're actually like starting your exploration, think of time as neutral. Like the idea that time is running out is a very false concept, right? Time is not running out. There is infinite time. And that's what I've been telling myself. There is unlimited time. There's unlimited time. There is unlimited time. And it also works as a spell as well. When you feel like this rush, like, oh, I must get this done, or I must finish this, or I must like, or I should like, all these like heady topics, or time is experienced, I feel like, in the body, right? Time is as slow as the slowest inhale of your breath. Time is very, very poetic too. Time is like such a big teacher, and I wish I could really put into words what it means to very much be alive in the face of time, because time like really just is the most scarce but unlimited resource when you know how to tap into it, right? Where do we go from here? I feel like I spoke for like 10 minutes straight, but this exploration is beautiful in a way where you get to make it your own. Maybe in the next 21 days, move as if you have unlimited time. Move as if you have unlimited time. Obviously, we all have obligations, right? We are not free from obligations, and obligations are beautiful. They make life meaningful, right? But at the same time, in your mundane, ordinary day-to-day life, right? When you're brushing your teeth, when you're washing dishes, when you're doing like the most minutest chore that you want to get through and get over, pour love into them. Pour love into them. I feel like there's also a big, big, big thing about like the art of noticing. Because once you start noticing, life becomes this like poem that you live. Really, life becomes this like beautiful unfolding that is happening right in front of your eyes. And I feel like beauty is such a big, like, big, big, big value of mine, and beauty in a way where this like all encompassing love. And I think when you slow down enough in these mundane moments, because guess what? Most of life is gonna be mundane. I feel like that's, I don't know if that was news to anybody, but most of life is going to be mundane experiences. And I think there is so much beauty in that, right? I imagine the times of our grandmothers when they were my age, they would probably like wake up, do their chores, do their ritual, do their stuff, cook food, sleep, take a nap, raise their kids. I feel like there was a lot of mundanity back in the day as well. And definitely how my grandmother experienced time is going to be way different than how I am experiencing time right now. But a simple practice that I have started doing is telling myself I have unlimited time, like tricking my brain into thinking that it has unlimited time. And the shift is very, very subtle. Like it's the most like subtlest form of shift. But I feel like it's these like subtle shifts that over time become like who you be and your essence in the world, right? Um, and also create meaning out of words, right? What is time to you? Whatever I shared is my exploration, what I've read, what I've researched, what I've felt to be true for me. Some things I've digested from other people, some things I've just come to my own conclusion, some things I'm just like, wow, I used to experience time like this when I was younger. And all of this exploration even started because I was super curious about how to experience time deeply. And I think that is my desire in this world. I feel like last year I went into this like whole quest about like, oh my God, what is my purpose in life? What do I do? What do I do? And then I realized like I love experiencing time deeply. I love being here, like here, fully, right? And I love being a sensual, sexy woman that I am. And I love like just meeting God and meeting life and meeting time, which is such a force and deliverance of God. Really, right? It's the thing that the universe gives us, whatever you want to use in terms of God, like in exchange of God, right? I know this video was all over the place, but I hope I made sense, and I will continue making these explorations even more and more. I think I really, really enjoy like researching things and writing about them in my journal, writing about them in my Substack. And I feel like time is something that is very, very big and dense that I don't think I could have ever done a justice in speaking about time. And this is very, very raw. I did have like a lot of notes, but I feel like these are just mainly explorations. So there is no right or wrong way to do life, right? So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video and found some meaning in them. But all in all, I would, if I were you and if I was a little curious, I would experiment with tricking my brain into thinking that it had unlimited time as well. So do that and then see what happens. I will see you on my next video. Thank you.